Find your mats, have a seat. So, welcome to Yoga Power, day 2, week 2. So today, class will be a little bit longer than we did last week. This week, we're going to spend a little bit more time in the stretching sequences. Today's standing postures, we're utilizing the same exercises we did last week. We're going to just change how we approach it. We're going to get a little bit more strength involved with that. And then again, we're going to spend a little bit more time in our stretching sequence today. Still no balance postures. We'll worry about those in the weeks to come. But for now, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, take a few breaths. I'm going to turn the music down. Oh, yeah. Everybody should have some aches, should have some pains. When you draw in your breath, I wanted to expand your hips. It should open up everything. Hips, ribs, chest. Start to take note of what might be tight on you. For me, it's always my legs. One more breath, we'll begin warming up. All right, let's come on our hands and knees. Shoulders over your hands, hips over your knees. I like to do the same warm-up just about every time. That way I can really get into a nice flow mode. So we're going to do our cat-cow. We're going to take a deep breath, lift our head up, lift our tail up. Trying to stretch our stomach as much as we can. And exhale, round your back. Lift your back up into the sky. Big breath. Keep reaching through your hands. Head up. Tummy's on. Exhale. Pushing through your palms. And as always, I'm always moving. Take a deep breath. In the warm-up, I don't sit still. I don't sit still either. Exhale. From here, come back to neutral. Straighten your toes. Sit back on your heels. Pushing through your palms. Child's pose. Try to reach your hips towards your heels. This is our resting position. At any time today, you can come right here and hang out. While you're down here, I want you to think about what's the one thing you're going to focus on today. Is it keeping your core tight? Is it just getting through the class? Is it trying to stay calm even if you fall? Is it to keep your face relaxed? That can be very powerful. Try to make that decision now and see if you can carry that decision with you throughout the whole class. Two more breaths. Last one. On this exhale, come forward onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes. We're going to go into downward dog for a moment. Oh. Just going to get a couple calf pumps in. Not going to hold this position too long. Still very, very cold. I'm going to take a deep breath, look up at my fingertips, lock my bent legs into my hands, keep my legs bent, and just fold over just for a moment. I'm far too cold to have my legs straight right now. Take a deep breath. Head comes up, followed by your arms standing all the way up, arms above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to center. We're going to take just a few breaths before we get moving. So take a deep breath, arms up. And exhale to the center. Deep breath, arms up. And exhale to the center. Deep breath, arms up. Now what we're going to do is kick our hips back. Nice flat back as we dive into our pool. Fingertips hit the floor if you can. Not her dangling. Place your hands against your shins. Take a deep breath. Lift your chest up. Nice flat back. Bend your knees. Place your hands on the floor. Step back into plank. Hold plank for a moment. Have equal pressures. Active pressing. Pinch your elbows together. Lower your body entirely onto the floor. Place your legs on the floor. Push your hips into the ground. Lift your chest up into cobra. Keeping that belly on. If you're not keeping your belly on, you're just pinching your back. Big breath. Kick your hips back into child's pose. Still slowly warming up. Pushing through those palms. One more breath. Come forward onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes. Downward dog. Lifting your hips up into the air. We're going to hold this a little bit longer. I'm pumping my feet, bending one knee, straightening the other. Just slowly trying to warm up the backs of my legs. Not going to be here too long. Take a deep breath. Look up at your fingertips. Walk those straight legs in if you can. I'm still kind of up on my toes. Bring that nice folding forward. Place your hands on your shins. Take a deep breath. Nice flat back. Really try to pull those shoulder blades together. Feel your whole back. Fold over. On your next inhale, lift your head up. Stand up, arms follow. And exhale for prayer. This time we're going to introduce upward dog. Stand nice and tall for me, guys. Nice mountain. Draw those bellies in a little bit. Take a deep breath. Arms up. Arms to the side. Dive into your pool, tilting at the hips. And dive into the pool. Ooh, this will look better. Already touching the floor. It's a good sign. Hands on your shins. Deep breath. Flat back. Push against your shins, guys. Bend your knees. Place your hands on the floor. Step back to plank. This time our legs stay off of the floor if we can. Elbows pinch your side. Big breath. Lower yourself down. Point your toes. Lift your chest up. Again, if you can, thighs up for upward dog. Back to plank. Do a push-up. And downward dog. Still pumping my calves. Your core is ripping. Courtney's core is ripping apart. I feel like I'm warming up faster than I did last week. Last week it took the whole class just to feel like I wasn't 900 years old. Few more breaths. Then we're going to wrap out a few sun salutations. And we'll get into our standing postures. Look up at your fingertips. Take a breath and walk, pushing your heels down towards the floor. Try to keep your palms on the floor. Inhale, nice flat back. Hands are pushing against your shins. Fold over. Big breath, head comes up first, arms follow. And exhale to our mountain pose. We're going to do 3 rather quick sun salutations today. I'm going to come to the front of my mat a little bit more. Let's get to work. Deep breath, arms up. Hands out to the side, swan dive over. Tilting at the hips. Fingertips on the floor. Nice flat back, big breath. Bend your knees, step or jump back to plank. Elbows pinching your side, lowering yourself down. Upward dog. Plank. Another push-up if you got it. Downward dog. We'll be here 3 to 5 breaths. What's proven to help me in this position is I turn my heels out a little bit. I push my hips up, and I push my palms away. One more big breath. On your next inhale, look up at your fingertips. Walk or jump your feet in. Nice. Round it over. Forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale down. Head comes up first, deep breath. And mountain pose. Doing another. Deep breath. That's why they call it a warm-up. Hands out to the side. Push your hips back. Nice flat back as long as you can. Fingertips down. Inhale up. As you exhale, bend your knees. Place your hands on the floor. Step back to plank. Elbows pinch your side through chaturanga. Into upward dog. Deep breath. You can always do cobra. Push up. Downward facing dog. I'm going to slide my mat now. I bumped my head on a wire basket. Slide that back a little bit. No matter what happens in today's class, don't worry about it. It's just yoga. Yoga is meant to improve you, improve your mood, not make it worse, right? I feel so much looser already. One more breath. Look up at your fingertips. Bend your knees. Step or jump. Your feet in. Rolling over. Nice flat back. Fold over. Head comes up first. Deep breath. And mountain pose. Last one, then we'll take a short break. Big breath. Hips back, eyes up. And then fall into the pool. Inhale, flat back. Bend your knees. Place your hands on the floor. Step back. Elbows pinch your side through chaturanga. Upward dog. Really present your chest here. Push up. Downward dog. From here, bend your knees, drop them to the floor. Sit back into child's pose. If you need water, now is the time. That was our warm-up. We're going to be doing our standing postures next. Move that. I can already tell. You kick it over. And just rest, guys. Relax. No. All right. Just take it. So last week, with our standing postures, we did pulsating movements. Today, we're literally just going to hold that position. Today's workout, we have a lot more vinyasas to do. So we're going to be, every time we switch sides, we're going to go through a vinyasa, keep switching sides, and we're going to slowly tack on the same movements we did last week. So it is going to get a little bit more tough. At any time, if we're in downward dog and you need child's pose where you are right now, you can certainly take it. I'll show you a few modifications along the way as well. A couple more breaths. And then we'll be in downward dog again. All right. Big breath. Come onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. Nice straight legs. Downward facing dog. Now, just to warm up your body a little bit further, bring your feet together. Take a deep breath. Lift your right leg up and hold it there. Your left leg, we want to be pushing into the floor still. Big breath. Just set that foot on the floor. On your next inhale, switch legs. Big breath. Set that foot down again. On your next inhale, your right leg goes up. And what we're going to do is on our exhale, bend your knee, place your foot between your hands, point your fingertips down towards the floor, and lift your chest up. Just going to chill here in runner's pose for a moment. We're not holding these positions too long today, but we are going to do a few more vinyasas. Speaking of, place your hands on the floor. Step your foot back into plank. Elbows pinch your side. Lower yourself down. Come up into upward dog. Do a push-up if you want. You can always take the push-up away. Downward dog. We're going to do that every single time we switch sides, so get prepared. Other side, feet together. Left leg up. All good. Deep breeze. Bend your knees. Swing your foot through. Fingertips down. Back butt cheek tight. Lift your chest up. Place your palms on the floor. Step back. Down through chaturanga. Up through upward dog. Push up if you got them. Downward dog. Now we're going to start adding standing postures. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to sit here for a little bit though. Can't get enough downward dog. I'm trying to stretch my spine as much as I can. Pushing my shoulders in one direction, pushing my hips in another. Keeping my belly on so my shoulders don't hurt. All right, bring your feet together. Crescent pose is next. Right leg up. Swing your foot through to your hands, fingertips down. Hold runner's pose momentarily. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lead with our chest. Arms come up. Crescent pose. If you need a modification, you can always put that back knee down on the floor. That always seems to help. And really push down through this front leg. Reach towards the ceiling. Big breath. Back to runner's pose. Palm the floor. Step your front foot back. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Push up. Downward dog. We're going to be switching sides here in a moment. Getting strong. Feet together. Left side, leg up. Bend your knees, swing it through. Fingertips down. Chest up first. Arms up. Pressing through both of your legs. Try to be calm. Big breath. Fingertips down. Runner's pose. Palm the ground. Step your foot back. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Push up. Downward dog. We're going to sit here for a few breaths. If you need a break, take it. We're skipping Warrior 1 and going right to Warrior 2 after this. And I'm going to show you a nice progression on that. Make it a little harder. Why? Oh, yeah. If you're in child's pose, come back to downward dog. Warrior 2, feet together. So I'll walk you through it. Right leg up. Swing it through. Fingertips down. Now, we're going to place our back foot flat. We're going to lift ourselves up like we did for crescent. This is Warrior 1. We're going to turn our bodies to Warrior 2. Arms are out. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, lift your front heel off of the floor and hold. Actively pushing through the floor. Place your foot back down. Swing through to Warrior 1. Switching sides. Back heel up, fingertips down. Palm the floor, step back. Lower yourself down. Up to upward dog. Push up. Downward dog. Few breaths and we'll switch sides. Feet together. Left leg up. Bend your knees, swing it through. Fingertips down. Flatten that foot. Briefly come up to Warrior 1. Come to Warrior 2. If you got that heel up, let's see what you got. Still trying to sink into our positions. Trying to squeeze our shoulder blades together. I'm sweating now, guys. Place that foot flat, swing through to Warrior 1. Back heel up, fingertips down, palm the floor. Lower yourself, upward dog. Push up if you got it. Downward dog. You need child's pose, now's the time to take it. Gonna make it through without, I think. We've got 2 more standing postures, guys. We're almost through. Actively reaching your spine one way. All right, now we've got something special. Reverse warrior, feet together. I'll show you what's going on. Right leg up. Swing through to runners. Flatten your foot. Come up to warrior 1. Turn to warrior 2. Extend that, lift that heel up if you were before. Flip your front hand, leaning back into reverse warrior. Trying to sink down into this posture every time you exhale. We're not putting much pressure on that back leg. Come back to warrior 2. Place your heel down if it was up. Swing through to warrior 1. Back heel up, fingertips down. Palm the floor. Switching sides. Lower yourself down. Up to upward dog. Push up. Downward dog. If you couldn't tell, I'm getting tired too. Used to do 90-minute yoga. Feet together, left side, swing it up. Bend your knees, swing it through. Fingertips. Flatten your foot. Up to warrior 1. Warrior 2, I'm lifting my heel up. Flipping my front hand, leaning back. Trying to sink into this. Really. But be calm, guys. Be calm. This is our hot energy for sure. I feel like a dancer. Warrior 2. Put that foot down. Swing through to warrior 1. Back heel up, fingertips down. Palm the floor. Step back. Vinyasa. We got 1 more standing posture, guys. It's a combo downward dog. It's less intense. If you need a break, now's the time. Our final standing posture today is our triangle and our twisting triangle pose. It's less about strengthening your legs, more about starting the stretch of your legs. If you're in child's pose, come back to downward dog. Let's do this. Feet together. Right leg up, big breath. Bend your knees, swing it through. Same progress. Runner's pose first. Flatten your foot quickly, warrior 1. Lift that heel up, warrior 2. Flip your palm, reverse warrior. Come back to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Kick your hip back. Reach as far as you can. Either place your hand on your shin or on the floor on the inside of your leg. Looking up at your hand if you can. Triangle pose. Upright yourself. We're doing twisting triangle pose right away. Turn the other way. For some of you, you're just going to grab onto your leg and try to rotate. For others, taking it all the way to the floor. And we're twisting. Unwind yourself. Now we got to go back to our reverse warrior. Bend your front knee. Flip your hand and look back. Warrior 2. Swing through to warrior 1. Back heel up, fingertips down. Switching sides, guys, then we get to rest. Lower yourself through your last vinyasa. Do a push-up. Downward dog. Let's just get it over with, huh? Feet together. Left leg up. Bend your knee and swing it through. Flatten your foot. Warrior 1 quickly. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. My heel's still up, guys. Back to warrior 2. Straighten your leg. Kick your hip back. Reach as far as you can. Triangle pose. I'm active with my legs, active with my arms. Active with my sweat. Come up. Immediately twisting. Twist. Some people, it may help if you sneak in your back foot a little bit. Twist. Rotate. This is where a yoga block comes in handy. You can put your knuckles on the floor, fingertips on the floor. Courtney, you can palm the floor. If your neck is burning you, look at the floor. Unwind yourself. We're going back to reverse warrior. Front leg is bent, leaning back. Warrior 2. We're almost done, guys. Warrior 1. Heels up, fingertips down. I lied. One more vinyasa. Step that foot back. Lower yourself down. Why not? Finish out our strength. Push up. Downward dog for 1 breath. As you exhale, drop your knees down. Go into child's pose. If you haven't had any water, now's the time. Sweating now. So that was the hot energy. All sweaty and gross hot. We're going to work into our stretching sequences. We'll start the same way we started last week. We'll be doing pigeon first. I'm going to get that mermaid today, guys. It's going to happen. Then we'll spend a little more time on our hips today. A few more stretches. That'll feel great. I'm so sweaty. All right, crew. We're going to go into downward dog in order to do this. So come back up into downward dog. Coming forward on your hands, knees, push back up. What we're going to do is bring our feet together. We're doing pigeon. We're going to lift our right leg up into the air. We're going to bend our knee, turn out our leg, and set it on the floor between our hands. So I have a little bit of a bend. Now, some of you might need more of a 90-degree angle. Some of you need it really bent because you're not very flexible. And that's fine. What we're doing, I like to start with my pigeon upright, no hands if you possibly can. Some of you cannot. That way I can take a deep breath and I can push my hip down into the floor as I swan dive over and place my forearms on the floor. This should light up your butt cheek. Pushing your hip down into the floor. For some of you, you're going to be here for the next 90 seconds. We're going to try something special. All right, if you're going to come on the journey with us, Some of you are staying in pigeon, others, you're going to upright your body with your hands. You're going to bend your back knee. You're just going to reach back and grab onto your foot for now. We're trying to keep our hip turned down, trying to get a quad stretch. Now, if you're really coming on the journey for the mermaid, you're going to place your foot into your forearm, your elbow. Ooh, this is much better today. And then what you're going to do is take your hand off the floor, reach over your head, which I'm still struggling with, and you're trying to lace your fingertips. Hey, this is almost comfortable. You can see Courtney doing the full mermaid. Me, I'm doing some, I don't know, mangled mermaid. If you're in the mermaid spot, let that leg go. If you're in pigeon, come up so that your hands are on the floor, your chest is up. We're going to be switching sides. So take that front leg, lift it off the floor, go back into downward dog. Check that leg out if it's burning. And we will switch to the other side. Left leg, lift it up. Bend your knee, turn out your hip. Okay. I'm trying to get to a good position. My back butt cheek is tight. I take my breath. I push my hip down and back as I swan dive over. Place my elbows on the floor. Okay. Good. 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 Oh. You guys are coming on the journey. Upright your body. Bend your back knee. Reach back and get it. I might be just staying here today. I don't know if the mermaid's going to happen on this side. Yeah, she's talking shit. All right. If you're doing the mermaid, you got to put your foot, she's laughing at me, put your foot into your elbow crease. Oh, it's going to be ugly. I'm actually just going to grab onto my ankle and stay right here. If you can reach up and over. Try to keep my butt cheek tight. Oh, this is painful. Oh, yeah. Let that leg go. Back into pigeon. If you're in pigeon, make sure you lift your chest up, hands are on the floor. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back into downward dog. Now we're going to do something called prayer squat. We're going to walk our feet into our hands. Now, get into a nice squat stance. In one motion, we're going to take a deep breath, drop our hips down, place our elbows inside of our legs, place our hands together. We want nice flat back, nice tall chest, wedging those knees open. Now, oftentimes we'll take this into balancing on our hands, we call that crane or crow, and we'll do things like headstands, handstands, things like that. That'll be in the future, guys. Oh, yeah. From here, just rock back, sit on your butt, straighten your legs out in front of you. Move your nuts in there. Now from here, we're going to be stretching both of our hamstrings first, then we'll do one at a time. So what I want, if you can see my feet, I want the insides of your feet to butt up against each other. Almost like you're trying to take your knees and rotate them to touch. Then I want you, if you can, you're going to lift your hips up off the ground so that you can push your butt back a little bit. That'll put you in a better upright position. Squeezing your feet together, sitting up tall, swan dive time. Deep breath. Swan dive over. This is all I got today. I used to be able to kiss my shins. Getting bulky. That's why we're doing yoga, guys. Your instructor needs it to know. Again, it's all about actively keeping your legs together. If they open up, you're not really stretching the hamstrings much. Come on up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our legs and pull it in as far as we possibly can into our groin. Same concept. I'm going to twist my body so it's nice and square. Imagine you have that second leg there, and you try to keep that knee in contact with the other. I'm personally going to twist over. You can go straight down if you'd like. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm just going to rotate and not make it very far. You can be like my wife. She's kissing the floor. The reason I'm twisting is I'm getting a good stretch through my rib cage, while getting a nice hamstring. What? Unwind that, guys. We're switching sides. You'll see why we're doing all this hamstring work first. Pull it in. I like to slide my body into position, square up my hips. Take a deep breath. And down. Pushing your hips back, lifting your chest up. Right, you're trying to bring your chest, your sternum to your toes. And unwind that. Now, we are going to do something called a shoulder stand next. The reason we did all that hamstring stretching is to make sure that this goes as well as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay on down. Now, I like to creep. I'll explain it this way. We're going to start by pulling your knees into your chest. We're going to sit here for a moment. What we're ultimately trying to do is the only thing that remains on the floor are our shoulders and our head. The higher you bring your body, the more pressure that could potentially go onto your neck. So you may not go very far, and that's fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a little bit of a rock and get our hands under our butt. Okay? So let's do that. We're going to get our hands under our butt. My knees are about where my face is. My butt's facing the ceiling. I'm pretty folded in half. Some of you, this is where you're going to stay. What we're going to try to do is we're going to walk our hands up our back as we try to straighten our legs. If you're like me and cracking, the straighter you can get your legs, the better. Or again, if this puts pressure on your neck, you got to go lower. Try splitting your legs if you got them in the air. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Then everybody, close your legs. If you can, place your knees on your forehead. If you're supersonic, you can straighten your legs. Bend your legs. Slowly roll down. Nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time. Feet are going to be flat. What we're going to do is we're now going to roll to our side and then ultimately come on our hands and knees. Roll to your side. Come to your hands and knees. Let yourself orientate. Then we're going to turn sideways on our mat from here. This will be our final hip stretch before we start closing down class. We're going to open up our knees, trying to get our inner thighs on the floor. We're doing frog. Going to place our elbows on the ground. With our legs open for now, we're going to push our hips back, almost like you're doing a squat. Slowly but surely, pushing back. Ideally, your chest would be on the floor, as would your crotch. At least that's what you're going for. Headstands. Do headstands. Every time you exhale, you're trying to sink into it a little further. A few more breaths, and then we'll change the position a little bit. All right, everybody come forward just a little bit so that you're no longer stretching. Now we're going to take the bottoms of our feet and put them together if possible. And then same deal, you're going to slowly work your way back. This gives you a different stretch. Only go back until you feel a pull, and then just stay there. You don't have to go very far. Should be a good inner thigh stretch. This is my lazy man butterfly. You like it? Lazy man butterfly. Yeah, and try to just relax into it. All right, guys, come forward. Bring your legs towards one another. We're going to lay on our hip, onto our shoulder, lay on your back flat. We're going to do a spinal twist a little differently today. So the whole time, I'm trying to keep my hips on the floor. One of my hips will come up, but I'm always trying to push it back down towards the ground. I'm going to straighten my left leg. I'm going to pull my right knee into my chest. I'm going to take my opposite hand and go across my leg. So my left arm is on my right leg. I'm going to pull my knee across my body as I try to push my hip back down towards the floor. My wife cracked with a chiropractic adjustment. And then I'm going to slowly just let my hip keep rising, very slowly, still keeping tension in my butt cheek until I eventually get my knee close to the floor. I'm looking back at my other hand. Slowly drifting to the floor. I'm slowly going to take that pressure away, rolling back towards my flat back. Knee is still pulled into my chest. Then I'll switch. Right leg is straight. Pulling my left leg in. I'm reaching my heel away from me. Right hand across my leg. Slowly pull it across, pushing my hip back down towards the floor initially.
Once I feel prepared, I'll allow my hip to rise off the floor, keeping both of my shoulders down. I got a crack. I'm not going for cracks, but I'll take one. My straight leg, I am reaching away. I'm looking back at my beautiful wife. Slowly come back, release that pressure. Knee is back in. Let's pull both of our knees into our chest now. Open them up wide. We're going to do happy baby quickly. We're going to take the bottoms of our feet, lift them towards the ceiling. We're going to sit up, reach in between our legs, and grab the outsides of our feet. Now we're going to try to push our lower backs into the floor, and we're going to rock side to side. At least we do. You can tell it's been a while, huh? All right, holding onto your foot still, let go of your left leg. I'm grabbing onto my foot now with both hands. I'm switching, bringing one leg in. And then from here, I'm going to straighten both of my legs out. Close my eyes. Rest my palms, the backs of my hands rather, on the floor. Close my eyes. It's time to drift away. As always, I'll walk you through scanning your body, giving attention to your whole body. Start with your forehead. Try to let the wrinkles go. Let your eyes sink back into your skull. Let your ears fall. Relax your cheeks. Let your jaw sag. Release your tongue. Bend down your neck, letting your skull fall into the floor. Your shoulders roll. Pay attention to your heartbeat. Now we're at the base of your ribs. Letting your belly fall into the ground. We're at the tops of your hips. We're going to move back up to your shoulders. Release your arms, your elbows, your forearms, and your fingertips. Moving your attention back to your hips. Let your thighs open up. Let your knees relax. Let the tension go in your calf muscles, in your feet, in your ankles, in your toes. Scan your body, everybody.
All right, everybody. Slowly take in more forceful air. Make some noise as you breathe out. Big breath in and out. Slowly waking up your body. Breathe in and out. Start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Keep breathing. And out. Now your wrists and your ankles. Breathe in and out. Elbows now, knees. Breathe in and out. On this next inhale, reach your arms above your head on the floor. Stretch your whole body. And exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Reach. This time as you exhale, roll over onto your side. Bend your knees, curl up into a ball. I'm resting my head on my arms. And now take a deep breath. Push into the floor, sit up, cross your legs, eyes are closed. We're finishing the same way we began. If you're facing away, who cares? Nice posture, but don't force it. Now, like a water balloon, when we breathe in, we start at the base of our belly. Breathe in through your belly, all the way to your chest, and exhale. Bottom first. Breathe in and out, filling from your hips to the top of your shoulders. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. This is your last one, guys. We're going to breathe in and hold. Breathe in. Hold. Try to breathe in some more. And out. You can open your eyes. Thank you guys for taking the second day of Yoga Power. I hope to see you guys next week where we continue taking care of our bodies. Have yourselves a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.